Let's take a look at the xTool riser base with the Honeycomb panel. This is for the xTool M1. It's a little tricky to install, I'm not going to lie. So we'll unbox it and take you through what we went through here. The manual gives you some instructions on how to set it up, but it doesn't really go through everything, so we'll be a little bit more comprehensive here. Here's a ruler for measuring depths. That's kind of nice. You have to peel all the brown stuff off, and sometimes it doesn't play nice. It doesn't come off nicely, but you get it off eventually. Here's the Honeycomb panel. It's actually heavier and thicker than I thought it was. Some kind of steel in here, and it's actually got some girth to it, and you see these little things on the front are magnets. And those magnets are pretty darn strong to hold something down, a piece of wood, so it won't move. They do a great job doing that. And they're rare earth magnets, or some of this thing's not moving. Now here's the instructions too. It tells you which way to put it. And you'll need to take the covers off the plexiglass. These are laser safe plexiglass covers. And it shows you that the space, you have that big top there. And you can tell this is the front right by looking. It says top and then alpha, beta, and then the next one underneath. So you are good to go. So you know that piece goes on the right, and also the hole for your air assist is going to go on that front right as well. So there are actually 5 tiny little Phillips head screws you'll need to take out. Use your own screwdriver. The one they give you is pathetic. And there's just the 5 in the front. There's none in the back. So you take those 5 little tiny screws out and then just pop it up, put your fingers underneath the front and push it up, and you're going to pull this thing up from the top. That's the easiest way to do this thing. And just pull that. But don't throw it away. You're going to need this. You're actually going to put this underneath your honeycomb to protect your desk or whatever surface you're working on. So I wanted to go ahead and install it. I was moving it from one table to another. We're going to relocate it over here. And I had it upside down. I said, hey, well, this is a great way to clean the laser lens. I can actually see everything underneath here. So I got myself a Q-tip, and I have a lens wipe that's alcohol. And I took a little Q-tip and just kind of put it in there and cleaned it up real good. You should do this every, I don't know how many hours, but when you make a big project or something, it's a good idea to keep that clean. It'll help your laser cut a little bit better and probably last a little bit longer. So you can see all the schmutz I got out of this from this first cleaning here. We made probably 4 or 5 things on here just to test it so far. So you see it cleans it up real good, a real easy way to clean it. And I just put those plexiglass sheets in there to kind of space it out correctly. Otherwise, it's really nothing holding it. There's no tools or anything. Here's the camera and the fan underneath. In case you've never seen those, the fan is replaceable. There's 4 screws holding that in. And you just pop this guy on top. Now, this is a little tricky because it gets a little squirrely, especially if you didn't disconnect the hose like I didn't. But you have to kind of find those little holes on the top there. See, the air assist is on the top right there. And just drop it in those little holes, and it'll drop in nicely. Again, no tools. There's no screws holding this together. So it's just kind of there. It's like a Lego set, like a loose Lego set. It's really the best way to describe it. And I'm going to move it over to the side where I'm going to put it. I do have this on an adjustable desk. So now that it's another 6 to 8 inches higher, it's going to be a little hard to get into. So for those of us who are height challenged, you could get an adjustable desk. This one's pretty affordable, a couple $100. And it'll move up and down so I can bring my desk lower so I can actually see and reach the inside of this thing. Now I'm going to put that plank, that board right back in. There's a slot on the bottom that's perfect for it. You don't have to screw it in, it just sits there. This is going to protect your desk or table. Now I just had the honeycomb in the bottom. I just wanted to put it away until I figure out where it went. And where it needs to go for regular cutting, if you're not doing tumbler engraving or anything really deep, is right on the top, and you probably need to drop it in from the top. And this is a little tricky. You're gonna have to stick your hands underneath there to get it in. Make sure it's powered off so you don't give yourself a laser tattoo. I'm just kidding, it won't work if the lid's up. So, and you just drop your laser safe plexiglass back in there and you are ready to go. You'll see it's flat, it'll be nice and flat in the front. So we're gonna do our first project. And we've never used this before. We've just used the triangular prisms. And now we're going to actually cut a piece of wood with the honeycomb panel. And we're using our rare earth magnets to hold it down. And these are super strong. You're gonna have a hard time actually pulling these off. I keep them in here so I don't forget where they are. And you see it's in there. It's in there nice and tight. It is not going anywhere, even with air assist, which we're gonna install soon. So we have to change this. So you change this to open plane. It's no longer flat surface. It's no longer prisms. It is open plane. And that's the device. That's the setting you're going to need to set your software when you're using this honeycomb panel, and it is elevated. So it knows exactly what to do. It will go ahead and measure it, and it measures it perfectly, and it cuts. Look at this. This is neat. This is the view from underneath it. So you can see it's shooting right through, which gives it a lot more airflow, and it makes it a lot more efficient. And you can see by the time it hits the bottom, it's not really doing anything. It's too wide of a light. And here is our first cut. This thing is amazing. I think it's going to make cleaner cuts and it's going to make your M1 more efficient. Hope this helped you. Drop a like and a subscribe and comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.